Welcome back to the channel. I need that. All right, we got a is my bucket leaking? Damn it. I think my pan's leaking. My pan with my transmission fluid look like it's leaking. Son of a biscuit. That's aggravating. We gotta find we set that engine down somewhere on the ground. Then we gotta pick this one up, and then we gotta put a flywheel on it, and clutch, transmission, and we gotta stick it down in the car. And if we get that accomplished before we go home, that will be a miracle. Like I say, it's after work, so got a little bit of time to work on it, but go ahead and try and get that dropped in. And we got a lot of other stuff to do. So let me get to it. All right. I could raise it up some, but I don't like having things up too high in case something bad happens. Get it, you know, we can make it. It won't fall as far. Put a little Loctite on it. And then we got our, anyway, yeah, let's just do it. A minor holdup, but it's for a good cause. I'm pretty sure it was Chris that said, hey, you know, I've said something about solid motor mounts. Of course, I've used the, you know, a torque strap to the cylinder head, which works fine. Said, too bad someone doesn't make solid motor mounts. And he said, just take the mounts off and drop it in with Mustang mounts and just drill a hole. I was like, wow. Sometimes now that's not to say that this will 100% work, but it's also not to say that it won't work. So I'm gonna pull the motor mounts off. I don't have the mounts out here to try, but we're gonna pull the other mount off, and then I'll just you know, go ahead and get the clutch on and stuff like that, and bolt the motor mounts on, and then maybe tomorrow or something we'll test drop it in, see how it works, and then of course we'll have to pull it back out. Then see if we can mark some holes. This could not be the greatest thing in the world. It could mess with the header clearance, but we won't know till we try. If it works, it'll be fantastic. I'll be like, oh cool, I got solid motor mounts, whatever, blah 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 blah. If it doesn't work, it's like, well, we did a bunch of work and didn't accomplish anything. We just got to put the other motor mounts back in and keep going the way we were. Also, for the record, I am not a fabricator. So if someone says, well, why don't you just make the mounts that you've got solid motor mounts? I don't really think that's within my capabilities. So this, sometimes I do have to work harder, not smarter, but you know, you've been watching this long, you know that by now. All right. Here we go. Get our Mustang mounts on. Try and make it work. Well, with transmission on it. It is disgusting. It's raining outside. It is freaking humid. I'm sweating. It's freaking the end of November, man. Why am I sweating? One other piece of the puzzle here. This is a Crown Vic Driveshaft that Kyle gave me. And yes, it's a little bit short, but we got a solution for that. There's a guy that makes off-road stuff, makes billet spacers, comes with ARP bolts, and we're gonna take up the slack. We're gonna change the yoke. We're gonna take up the slackless spacer. Anyone wants to complain about it, knock yourself out. Getting a drive shaft lengthened and stuff like that and rebalanced is freaking crazy expensive. I've actually got one of the spacer on the van. I know that's completely different, but we've got one on drag van here, and it has worked fine. Drives fine, don't vibrate, don't do anything. So that's what we're going to do. That's going to be our drive shaft solution. I feel a whole lot better about running this than I do about running that thing. So whatever, if nobody likes it, we're going to find out if it's going to work or not. If it breaks, just call me stupid. Okay, trans is bolted on. We're going to call it a afternoon, at least on this, because like I say, I want to bring the motor mounts home, or bring them out here and see what we end up with. That'd be cool if we drill a hole and make us a little something. That'd be pretty sweet. Hold on, that greasy spot. Also, for the record, I will never primer this car black. It'll always be white. Just in case anybody's wondering. I got a bad habit because I like black, but this thing's white, so it's gonna stay white. This is a Love Boat, man. Okay, I feel like we're accomplishing a little something. Slowly but surely. Like I say, we got big ideas. Get our drive shaft. I'm excited about the drive shaft solution. Doesn't cost a fortune. Can get it done without a bunch of trouble and running around. I'm okay with it. So then we'll just have to kind of figure the axle thing out. Some people put some comments about different axles and stuff like that, and this car's a transition year, so it's a little different. The axles, some axles that will work are actually, I want to say 91 through 97 Aero cars. This car does not have ABS, did not have it from the factory, does not have rear disc brakes. It is a drum brake, non-ABS car from the factory. So I'm actually going to pull an axle out here, maybe before we get it going and stuff like that, and measure it. So I'll know exactly what I have, and then can start working from there. So I appreciate everyone's comments, though, ideas and stuff like that. Just, I've done a lot of research on my own. I say obviously, but I'm a member of grandmarquis.net, and I'm on the Crown Vic site too. So anyway, I've been looking over the years off and on, even before I got this car. I mean, way before I got this car. I think I joined grandmarquis.net maybe 2010 or 11 or something, maybe. I can't remember. It's been a little while. Anyway, it's gonna be pretty cool. Anyway, I'll see you guys next clip. We've got the motor mounts on, and I was just kind of, the 351 headers, the passenger side actually hit the bell housing when I tried to really tighten it down. So we're going to have to go with these a little bit smaller BBK 1/5/8. With it sitting up like this, it's trying to touch a little bit, and I've got it, it's actually off center now because I was putting that header on. But we've got the transmissions mounted just in the cross member and stuff like that, because I wanted to see how it would all look. But we would have to basically drill into where one of the regular motor mount holes would, to make it big enough and to slot it and stuff. We would kind of be messing around in that area. It's going to actually sit, both sides are going to sit like right in here. I don't know. I'm thinking that it's more trouble than it's worth, to be quite honest. The motor mounts that were on it are actually sturdier than I thought they might be. They've got like some kind of whatever this like kind of urethane, I don't know. It's yellow, but not that that means something. I mean, it's a rubber mount, but it's sturdier than I thought, I guess. But I mean, we did have a torque strap mounted right here going to the cylinder head. Whoops, going to the cylinder head. And there's room on the frame. I could drill a hole, and I could put another torque strap in the back and have it strapped down like that. I'm thinking that's just a little bit a better option. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm not super, I don't want to start drilling into something and make it worse than it is. Again, this thing doesn't make a huge amount of power. So I'm thinking the double torque strap might be the move here. I'm more comfortable with that than starting to drill and making it just worse or whatever, getting myself in and then get it all set in and the headers don't fit right because now the engine sits lower or whatever it does. So I think we're better off just going back with what we had, and we'll double torque strap it and just call it a winner from there. So anyway, it was worth a try, but I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. So anyway, let me start pulling the headers back off and kind of do something with it, and then we can put the old motor mounts back on. So cool. We tried. It's bolted in. Like I say, we're gonna drill a hole over here for another torque strap. We'll put the other one in. Like I say, we still got to bolt the transmission or cross member in. It's sitting on it and stuff. Anyway. And then say we still got plenty to do. We got to mount the fuel cell. We got to redo the clutch linkage stuff. We got to mount our harnesses. I mean, we got a bunch of it's all the nickel. We got to put the ignition box back in. We got to time it, yada yada yada. Got to get the carburetor put together. But we did pretty good so far. So I guess. So that's gonna be it for this afternoon. I'll see you guys in the next clip. For the record, don't act like I ain't been doing nothing. Tis the next day, so we're out here. Goals for today. Get the headers on. Get the headers on. This is not Mountain Dew. And it ain't liquor either. It ain't that corn liquor. This is essentially what our dual torque strap is gonna look like. You know, fortunately with the Lincoln, you've got like plenty of room to do this. Somebody said, you guys have made comments, 351, 460. You know what would look awesome in here is a Coyote. I mean, I ain't a Coyote guy, and I'm not getting a Coyote. I don't have the money to get a Coyote. I don't have, I'd have to save, I don't know, I'd have to save a while to get a Coyote and a control pack, and then get a transmission to go with it, and then a clutch, and for what? I mean, honestly, for what? Just to say, oh, hey, look, I got a Coyote and it's kind of fast. I would rather spend, this is just how I think about things, I'd rather spend all the money that I was gonna spend on a Coyote swap, and I would rather cut the whole front end off this car and do some kind of tubular, like G-body style rack and tubular nose and stuff that those cars have, than have a Coyote. That's just me, because to me, I'm like, oh my God, I would love to lose all this weight and just have a little push rod motor that I can work on and tinker with. I mean, for me, if I had a Coyote, what am I gonna do with it? I mean, once it's in the car, what am I gonna do? Spend $800 on a set on cam? I don't even know how much cams cost for one of those things. I know headers are crazy, you know what I mean? What am I gonna do? I mean, I like tinkering and swapping stuff around and being silly and stuff like that. So this Coyote would be incredibly awesome in this car. I wish someone would build one. I just ain't that guy. I'm just, when you guys talk about 351, that's more likely to happen than anything, honestly, just because I could, at some point in time, I could maybe get a TKX or something that'd hold up to it, to the weight of the car and the potential power that the almighty 351 makes. So anyway, I gotta get the starter on and let's get to work. Let's talk it. But I like telling you things, because you guys ask questions in the comment or say things in the comments, and I try and give you the rationale of why I don't do things. A lot of it has to do with my knowledge and money. It's usually a lack of both. Quick update on the header situation. Driver's side is good. Also, since we're using, You can probably, it's okay. You can see the clutch fork right there. It's not touching the header. It's good. The only thing you technically kind of, or I had to do, was I put a little dent in the, where's the cable at? In the header too, or in the primary, and also trimmed the cable end down. So it wouldn't hit against the header and make it act weird or anything. On the passenger side, we're going to go with the 1 5/8 BBK box headers, no bueno. With it on the regular mounts, they would not fit. Now the 1 3/4, they fit fine. Don't ask me why. I mean, I have no idea. But the 1 5/8, man, they wasn't even close on the passenger side. The passenger side's always the problem. It has been the problem child for me with headers on this car. So what are we doing? What did we do? Or we're back to the 1 3/4. You can see here that we have got a tiny gap. I mean, you got to figure the gasket's going to be in there too. But we have been doing some clearancing right in that area. It's hard to see, but one of the tubes is against the bell housing, and we've been pulling it in and out a couple times. We got our, flattening it out a little bit. Not worried about pinching off a little bit of a primary. It's no big deal, at least not in my opinion. I mean, if you think it's a huge thing, go watch the Engine Masters episode where they beat a set of headers half to death and it didn't make any difference in power. I can't even remember if they beat them down enough to make a difference. So anyway, we're gonna pull it back out and keep nibbling at it until it fits, and then that's gonna be our header deal. So let me get back to banging. We got this side all done. Got our torque straps in. It's not going anywhere. You gotta, obviously, you gotta periodically give them a check to, make sure they're still hanging in there. But let's get the other header finished up, and then keep on keeping on. Okay, we've got the other header on. We had some header studs, and we just use those instead of the bolts. We had laying around. I forgot I had them. And I was looking for something. I found, oh, hey, we'll put them on. So we got it clearanced enough. You can't really see it, but it's hitting like where the starter bolt bows out from the housing. So we got clearance enough for it to seal up. We'll know for sure once we start it up if it's, if it's leaking. Then it's not really a big deal. We can take the header back out. This thing just comes right in and out, and get it squared away. So I think we're gonna end this one. Well, that's it. Out with the lopo, in with the mofo. So we got all the headers done. We got the transmission cross member bolted in. We still got 100 things we got to do. We got the shifter in it. We got a fuel cell. We got the drive shaft in it, and we're just going to put the stock one in for right now in case we want to drive it or get it running before we get our other stuff done or in. We got to put the distributor in it. Like I said, ignition box, electric water pump. Got to put the carburetor together. We got a ton of stuff we got to do. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. We should have it, it'll be, well, you'll know when it's running because we'll put a video out, but it'll be interesting. See, I'm glad I got to use those headers. I did not want to put the smaller headers on just because I didn't want to. I wanted to use those. And also, side note, those BBKs will be going on Rob Zombie, the 1 5/8, so I really want to use them on that car. But anyway, so far so good. It's working out. But thanks for commenting. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for all the ways you guys support the channel. We couldn't do it without you, and we wouldn't want to, but especially thanks for watching. And until next time on Substandard Leader and Fox Body Videos on this here man's YouTube, 1 year high-rise intake, push rod, 5-speed Lincoln Town Cars, 4 drag vans, proud owner, dishwasher, barbecuer, smoker, pole dancer. Yeah, toilet cleaner of Club Big Boost. And as always, fight a good fight against them zombie Mustangs and that rascal Dr. Fear. We'll see you guys in the next video.